Hi everybody, it's your host Sabrina from About This Aging Thing. She's back. Today she's back in the capacity of co-host. So you guys don't fuss at me about why she didn't talk about sex.
I'm always talking about sex.
You know. She is our resident sexologist, and today she will also be the co-host. You done? So, so your earrings match your tambourine on purpose?
Yeah. Oh, right.
What's the earrings? What are they?
Hold on. This one.
That's nice.
Thank you.
Oh, they're music notes.
They are, because tambourine brings joy and music.
They only had one pair of those?
Well, actually.
What?
No, hold on. You get to choose.
I get something. Oh, I didn't even see those over there.
I hit them. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
We had some
Oh, these are
purple
nice. This is a dink rub.
Right, I thought about you when I actually saw those.
Yeah, I like these. And I
You
like
gotta
the
show them. You gotta
wings.
show them.
Oh, sorry, y'all. Can you see the dinker symbol?
Yeah. Oh.
And then, let's see that one.
This one. I think I'm going to keep
You trying to take those back? You want to keep these?
Yeah.
Get on my nerves. She going to show me earrings and then tell me what I can have.
She liked the other ones.
I like the wings.
I wanted to kind of give you a choice. But
And you know, I don't wear blue, and I'm trying to get more into blue. So this might inspire me.
Blue is sexy.
Mm-hmm. If y'all see me out with these on, just say, hey, I like those blue earrings.
And you can say you got from Mistress Angela.
Mistress Angela. She likes me to say it like that. How's everybody doing? How you doing?
You know, I am delicious today.
You're delicious.
I am delicious today.
She's delicious. That's personal, but
it is.
I like to take a survey. Is Mistress Angela delicious? I'm just gonna, don't say anything. Not a word. Let me have that lip gloss right there. Not a word. Thank you. Okay, so today we're going to talk about doing it.
Say yes. How about that?
We're going to stay focused. We're going to talk about, I know I did, I'm sorry. We're going to talk about doing it with yourself. See how y'all went straight to?
I'm sorry.
We're talking about things, not just sex. We're talking about going to the movies, going out to dinner, traveling. What other things?
Can I just talk about doing it with yourself one second?
Absolutely.
Because I had an amazing journey with myself just this morning.
Go ahead while I put my lip gloss on.
I mean, so I know you don't want to talk. You talking about more than just sex. I got it, but I'm gonna start with the
sex wasn't on the agenda at all.
Well, I'm gonna add it because doing it with yourself is masturbation, right? Self pleasure. We talk about that, right? Mm-hmm. I am an advocate for self pleasure. I forgot my necklace. Oh my god!
Why? What's on it?
It's a vibrator.
Oh yeah, vibrator. Mm-hmm. That you only have one of.
Well, you gotta go to the store to get another one with me.
Okay then.
Another field trip.
I love a field trip. Sorry.
Okay, sorry, digress. Anyway, so I would say give yourself that opportunity to explore your self pleasure, right? Mm-hmm. Especially if you are a single person, if you're trying not to connect with another person right now, maybe you're practicing celibacy or whatever. Try to teach yourself how to love yourself intimately. So when you do get with a partner again, you can kind of know what you like and what you don't like. That's all. I kept it easy. I'm just saying.
So that was very good advice. You know, at our age, people have said to me, like, Sabrina, I've seen some of the shows and like some of the stuff y'all talk about, we're too old, like we know this already, but you would be surprised at how many people 40 and up, they don't know.
They really don't know.
They really don't know. Or they've never done it, or they've never experienced it. I met a woman last year who was, I don't know, 48, I think, something like that, and she had never had an orgasm. I felt the pain for her. And she has a husband. Huh? Yeah, what?
You said what?
She has a husband of like 10 years.
Did she know that she could have orgasm, or she just never thought about it? I need to know.
All I know is we were in a women's group having a conversation, and it turned to sex. And she said, I've never had an orgasm. And everybody just kind of stopped. And then somebody goes, aren't you married? And she said, yes. So I guess they were asking that to say, you have regular sex? And she was like, yeah, we have regular sex. I just never had an orgasm. And I don't know where they went from there, because I was a visitor. So I was trying to mind my business.
I would say you're missing out on something that's amazing. That's an amazing part of sex. If you're having sex with your partner already, then there's another level of joy that you can have in that experience. Give yourself the opportunity to explore it with your partner.
Yeah, and she's been faking it, so he thinks that
you're doing yourself.
I did hear her say that, right?
You're doing yourself a disservice.
He thinks he's doing the damn thing, and she's not having it. Look at your face.
So I wonder, are you having holiday sex then? You only have sex 4 times a year? And I'm not being ugly or judgmental, but are you just having birthday sex? Because how often can you fake that? How often are you having sex that you're faking orgasms every time? It can't be once a week, right? Real talk.
Yeah, I honestly don't remember because it was last year.
Oh, okay.
I just remember everybody just had, they were like bombarding her with questions.
You're doing yourself a disservice if you haven't, and you're having sex and you're faking it. That's like faking that you're making a paycheck and you're not, and you got bills to pay. Like,
Oh, wow.
I don't know, but I love you, sis, and let's talk because you're missing some amazing stuff, right? You're missing some amazing things.
There was somebody else there who never had an orgasm.
Can I take a sip on that one? Because
I'm sorry.
I need a drink.
Cheers. We're drinking what we want to today. Ooh. You guys like a rum and Coke? And I'm doing a little.
Absolutely. Actually, it's Jack
white
and
wine
Coke.
is good.
Actually, it's Jack and Coke.
Oh, is it? Ooh.
I had to level up.
We don't really drink. We only do it for the show, y'all.
It's football season. Everything is football season. The sun is out. It's football season. My team plays later today. Anyway, okay, I digress.
So anyway, back to doing it with yourself. So I want to talk about a few things because I was having a conversation a couple weeks ago with some people that I was working with. And I was like, oh, I'm going to go to the movies. And they were like, who are you going with? And I was like, with myself. I didn't understand the question. I said, yeah, but I think I'm going to go to dinner first and then go to the movies. And they were like, by yourself? So for me, I was telling Mistress Angela, I rarely say by myself. Because to me, by myself sounds very negative. It sounds like, oh, I'm by myself. It sounds like it's not by choice that I'm with myself. A lot of times I'm with myself, it's by choice. Facts. I can make a phone call and have somebody go with me.
You can?
Yeah.
Oh, facts.
You gotta keep that on your speed dial. However, I usually choose to be to be with myself. It's peaceful. I can go when I want to. I don't have to worry about if you're having a good time. You see what I'm saying?
Facts.
I just do what I do. Facts. So that means that's going out to eat. That's going I was going to go to the Botanical Gardens today. They have a great Halloween fall. Ooh. I saw it online. I said, oh, that looks like fun. And I literally was about to buy my ticket. And then I realized, wait a minute, let me check my other calendar. And sure enough, I had something to do the day I was going to go. However, I'm still going to go. And yeah, I would definitely go with myself.
Let me know. I need to look at it. Botanical?
Okay, yeah. Now I'm willing to go with myself. But if somebody says, hey, I want to go too, I have no problem with that. Especially if I know they're going to be fun and laid back, like Mistress Angela. But also traveling. So I do that with myself. For the first time I went out of the country with myself, I loved it. I was afraid. I was nervous. There's a lot of stuff going on out there. But I just, you just have to use common sense, keep your head on swivel, make sure you have everything lined up for yourself, your transportation. And that was the first time I went out of the country with myself. And I chose a place where I knew a couple of people who lived there in case anything went down and I needed help, right? But now that I've done it, I'm ready to go to a place where I don't know anybody.
Facts.
Now I didn't stay with those people. I stayed with myself, and then I stayed with a family one night just to get the local experience. And that was really cool. I got to have the local food, and the lady cooked. And it was a dope experience. And because of that, now I'm absolutely ready to do it with myself. I didn't think about anything. I really didn't think about anything. I just did what I wanted to do.
If you change your mind at the last minute, you don't have to tell anybody. You don't have to ask, are you okay?
Yeah.
And all that kind of stuff.
Are you having fun? Right.
So what made you finally do it for yourself? Like the travel piece like that?
I'm getting older. And like the rest of us, and I was like, that's something I've always wanted to do. So I was like, I'm just going to do it while I still can.
Gotcha.
And I did, and it was great.
Facts. I've always traveled. Well, since my younger years, I've always been able to travel by myself. Right. When we used to do makeup and that type of thing, that kind of got me in the habit of traveling by myself.
Yeah.
And then I kind of enjoyed it a lot of times. And as much as I worked back then, you know, we had the spa you had, and then doing makeup and doing all the things that we were doing. Sometimes you can only go by yourself. So it was something I've been doing for years, but I still would like to travel to a particular country by myself, you know, not just in the Caribbean, but, you know, a European trip by myself would be
Absolutely.
pretty cool.
And the other thing that motivated me, and this is so crazy, people don't know how they strike you sometimes. This is 100 years ago when I was working in education. I was at NYU for my leadership certification, and my roommate had just went to Italy for 2 weeks. And she was saying how awesome it was to go to Europe with herself.
Absolutely.
And she had a whole man, but she was like, this is something I want to do.
Absolutely.
And so I never forgot. And she told me, like, we went to lunch and I was like, oh, tell me about your trip. And she told me about all the things she did and all the people. And also, whenever you go somewhere, there's always people. That's the other thing. And unless you just don't want to connect with any people, I mean, you're never really alone.
True.
And when people find out that you're traveling with yourself, a lot of times they look out for you too.
Especially at your hotels or your resorts that you stay at.
Yeah.
They'll definitely look out for you. And if you've never done it before with this travel piece, especially, you mentioned something about work. Like maybe go study a class somewhere, maybe in another country you want to go travel to. You know, everything is online anyway, so you can go travel there. And the reason you're going is because you're enrolled in the school there or something. You know what I mean? Right. For work, I think that can get you in the practice of traveling by yourself because you're traveling for work. So it's the same thing regardless of where you travel to. It was something else. Or if it's a concert or something you want to go to, you can try things like that so you have a reason to go. So you can kind of don't feel like lost out there in the abyss by yourself.
Yeah, I've had somebody say, oh, I would never go to a concert by myself. I remember when Oprah came 100 years ago, and I really wanted to see her.
You did.
And nobody really cared but me.
I remember that.
She was on tour.
She was. But
and I went.
There now, but you did your thing.
But guess what I did? She's in Atlanta. It was a 2-day event. So I got a hotel downtown, like I was a tourist in Atlanta, even though I lived here. And I went to the it was an all-day, you know, event. And then they had like stuff going on outside, vendors and all that. And then I went, had dinner, and stayed at the hotel. And then the next day got up for the next day of sessions. And it was awesome.
Absolutely.
And I met people.
Absolutely.
And, you know, one of the ladies asked me, hey, you want to have lunch with us? So I was like, sure. I had lunch with them, but I didn't have dinner with them because I need time with myself.
Absolutely.
But it was great.
Because you enjoy yourself.
Yeah, I do. I do enjoy my company. I do have a good time. And as far as like local trips, like in the States, I love, like, when we go on road trips. I love road trips. And I used to do road trips, like, just to go see my mom or whatever. And with myself. And sometimes I would even have music on. I would cut the music off for hours and just drive in silence, just clearing my head and thinking about, you know, my next moves, whatever it is. It's a great meditative state to be in while you're driving safely.
Absolutely.
And I used to come back with answers.
Absolutely.
So.
And I forgot about that. I used to, when I was in college, when I moved to Atlanta, I would do road trips all the time in North Carolina. So I think because you do that, you don't think about it. And if it's been a long time since you've done it, then, you know, try something small like that. Try something, as you said, local.
That's what made me think about it when you said that. I'm like, I bet you a lot of people do this and don't even realize you're doing it with yourself.
Right. When you leave for work, you're doing it with yourself most of the time. Traveling for your kids' games, right? Or a wedding or a family reunion. You do those things sometimes by yourself, especially a wedding if the event is small and you can't bring anybody with you, right? So you do it a lot more than you realize. You really do.
Try it.
Oh, sexy.
So when you go off with yourself, I was gonna make some suggestions. Because some people are like, how do I even get started? I think you just made some really great points. Like those small little trips to work. People might not think that is a big deal, but you make a good point. You are with yourself. Some people say, I can never go out to eat. Somebody just said that to me.
You are right.
And she seems so independent, but she's like, I just can't do it. I can't go with myself. So if her husband doesn't want to do something or her girls don't want to do something, then she just doesn't do it.
Wow. I recently went to Missy Elliott's concert, right? It was here in
I
Atlanta.
remember that.
And it was a last minute thing. I think somebody was going and they backed out. And then I was like, I still want to go to the concert, right? So I went to the concert by myself, for myself, because I wanted to see Missy. The last time she was here, I saw her in person. So I wanted to see her again many years later. And it was a great show. I made friends with the people that were around me, right? So starting small, if it's something you really want to do, don't wait for somebody else to take you to go. Don't get mad at your partner or your friends or whatever. Then just go. Have a good time. You know, dress up for yourself. Be smart. Right? So I didn't, I parked closer than I usually park.
Right.
Right? I parked in a place that was, I should do this all the time, right? But sometimes I don't because parking is ridiculous. I'm not paying $60 for parking.
Right.
On a budget in Atlanta.
Right.
Right? So I may pay $30 and walk a couple blocks.
Right.
So, do things like that, or even taking yourself out for lunch by yourself. Don't always go out with your coworkers. Maybe just have lunch by yourself in the park, or turn the laptop off for a minute if you work from home. Yeah, I'm sorry, I just kind of.
That's okay. No, we're saying the same thing.
But it's so much fun.
I love that about Tracy. Tracy is one of our friends. She will invite everybody to everything. And if nobody goes, you can be guaranteed that she will text us after the event and say, I had a great time. It was awesome. Blah, 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 blah.
True.
Yeah.
So and I love that about her. Yeah, I do love that about her.
She's not good. It's like what you just said. Nothing stops you from seeing Missy Elliott,
Nothing. If I want to go to the beach and nobody can go,
now listen.
I'm out.
Now, listen, I was on the beach once with myself, minding my own business.
Facts.
Remember the guy was coming out the ocean. Like it was something in a magazine. So I was like, trying to get my phone and trying to take pictures. And Angie was like, leave that man alone. I was sending her the pictures like,
he was fine.
I was like, what the?
He was fine.
Because I was like, had my eyes closed on the beach. And I just opened my eyes real slow. And I was like, what? I thought I was dreaming.
You were. It came real.
Kind of.
Dreams can come true.
Kind of. And I was like, side taking pictures. That was hilarious. And you're like, aren't you on vacation? Stop texting me. I was like, I just had to share this with my girl. I had to share it.
Facts.
The lady who said to me, I can never eat by myself. What I said to her was, try having lunch somewhere. Oh, this is the other thing she said. And this is why I said this. She said, I don't want people looking at me. So I think that's something deep that you got to deal with first. You have to address that.
And we can work through that. Right?
Yeah, the insecurities. I used to be there. I understand. And then I was like, try it with your back against the wall and you're facing the door and you're in a booth. Don't let them sit you in the middle of the floor. Or you can sit at the bar if you're a social person. I normally don't sit at the bar because I normally don't want to talk to people. I'm trying to be with myself.
She's a Capricorn.
Yeah, January. So I like to, I'm a little introverted. Okay. But I like to.
Me too.
Not quite. I like to sit in peace and eat my food. And guess what? A lot of people will get all caught up in their phone on purpose because they don't want to look up and look around, or they'll get a book and they
they want to be focused.
Try this because I used to do that. I used to, before with the phone. Okay, I'm really aging myself, but before that, I used to always have something. Make sure I had something to look at, right? Because I didn't want to be looking. But now, but not now, but many years since then, it's try not having anything, not having any distractions, and just have your food and just enjoy sitting up and looking out and looking around, and you'll notice that people aren't looking at you. Nobody cares that you're eating with yourself. And when the person says table for one, don't get offended. Go, yes, it's just me. Don't do that. I've seen that.
I'm like, yes, and I'm excited.
Yeah, no, it's just me.
Right. There's I have a trip coming up in December. Right, winter solstice. I always go somewhere for winter solstice, and sometimes I usually invite people if they never say they want to go, and this is cool. I'm like, I could really care less. Come if you're going to have a good time and you're going to be at peace, because this is a special time for me. And I cannot wait to get to this one restaurant in Nashville that I love. Their steaks are amazing. You know how I like my fillets, right? And I am so looking forward to just going by myself or with somebody. It doesn't really matter. And going and doing the things that I enjoy. Like I have my restaurant I want to go to. I'm going to my like crystal store I go to there. I'm going to yoga class and I'm so excited. Like get excited about doing the things you want to do. And if you have to start small, then start small. Like you mentioned, a really good point was new people in the city, right? So you have somebody, one, for emergencies, and two, if you do get lonely, like, I don't want to be by myself for 3 days. I want to hang out with somebody a couple days. Go to a place where you do have friends. Don't overcommit. Just commit 1 day with your friends and 1 day to yourself or whatever.
Right.
And that kind of brings that balance the first time. You know,
that's a good point. Don't go too long because it might be too much.
Maybe 3 days.
Yeah, I was gonna say 2 nights, 3 days. Or,
Yeah,
that might be a good first start, like a Friday to a Sunday. Try that. Try a weekend, and try it in state, and then move yourself out of state, and then see how it goes.
You mentioned going to Oprah and staying downtown. Be a tourist in your city, right? Go to a show that you want to see in your city. Stay close to the venue and enjoy yourself. Yeah, and you can do it on a budget too.
And you know what? Mistress Angela actually made me appreciate doing that in the city where I live, because she does it a lot. Right, she got a hotel. She got secret places she goes.
I do.
She's like, so one time she had her secret place reserved and then couldn't make it. So then she called me and said, "Hey, what you doing?" I was like, "Nothing." And she's like, "I have a room. I can't. There's no refund. It's in my secret place. So I want to know if you want the room. Maybe this. But don't tell nobody about my secret place
unless I take you."
So I went and I took my candles and my incense, and it was a big old tub. This is all in Atlanta. And I had a soak and played music. I had a bottle of wine. Now, somebody called me like they could smell that I was by myself in a hotel room. But I didn't, that was I was with myself, and it was great. And I appreciated you for that, because I knew how to do that, but sometimes you let life get you so caught up that you forget how to do it or to do it. And so I encourage people who are running, like we're running too, but I'm trying to do better at stopping and taking care of myself.
I have to put it on my calendar.
Oh, that's smart. Yeah, that's really smart. Yeah. It's like working out. I had to put that on my calendar.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm still working on that working out thing.
My phone screams at me, "It's time to work out."
That's why I don't have it on my phone, because I don't really want to be screamed at.
I was like, "Shut up!" Even though I set it up like that. So I wanted to do that. That was awesome. So start there. Start with a hotel room if you have to. And then figure out what you want to do. Plan stuff for yourself. Like my next excursion out with myself is coming up in a couple weeks, and I know what I want to do. And then I'm gonna make sure that I do, like you were talking about Nashville and what you want to do. You're going to take a yoga class. You're going to your favorite restaurant. Have those things planned out. Plan that itinerary as if you were taking somebody else. Treat yourself the way you would treat your friend or your man or your woman. And it comes out great. Absolutely.
I would also say, we mentioned like going by yourself or going with people, right? If you're excited, be excited about what you're doing, but don't feel the pressure of other people saying, "Oh, I want to go. If you're really trying to spend some time with yourself, then own that space with your friends and say, "Hey, I really would love to hang out with you, but I really need some time to myself," right? I really am trying to practice my self-time. Or maybe they get a room, y'all don't share rooms, don't have a roommate, or you can start even that small, just don't have a roommate, and you can still get together when you get together, if you choose to. And sometimes I won't tell anybody I'm doing it until I get back. Right. I tell my daughter, or I tell you. Yeah. And then that's it. Yeah, for safety reasons. Yeah. Like, here, this is where I'm going. Well, she knows where I'm at all times. She got a tracking system. But anyway, yeah, I'll tell Mistress Angela. Somebody should know where you are. Right. And then after that, tell everybody when you get back, "Hey, I went to blank." And when they go, "Oh, you didn't tell me," because I did that to you all the time. You do. Then, and she's like, because I want to be with myself. So they say that, like, "Oh, it was a trip just for me. It was a solo trip." People understand that. They're really your friends. Right. Or if it's a work trip, then maybe if you can squeeze in some time with yourself, or maybe go. I don't rush my travel. So one thing, if you work and travel, don't rush your travel. Like when you get when you're seasoned, I'm not getting up at 4:00 in the morning to go rush to get to a meeting at 9:00. I'm not doing it. And if you don't value me enough to know that I'm going to go a day before, so I can be ready and be refreshed for whatever work I'm doing for you, then I'm not doing it. That's a good point. That's a really good point. Don't rush yourself. Take that time with yourself. So if you're booking your travel a day before, then book it kind of like midday or early day, so you can have some relaxation time built in there, right? It's the same thing. Or if you have a late night meeting and you're traveling, don't rush to get back that night unless you have to, but try to have a cushion on the front or the back so you're not just jumping back into family life, whatever is going on, build a little cushion time in there for yourself. Don't rush yourself. Because you've earned not to rush yourself. Don't rush me.
That's a great way. That's a great way to start being with yourself.
Absolutely.
A business trip.
Absolutely.
And going the day before and staying the day after.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. And that's funny how you could do that. Well, you're getting paid. I understand the motivation is money. But the motivation also has to be you.
Absolutely. So how do you balance that? Because we do go, right?
Yeah.
One of our sister friends does that a lot, right? When she travels, like, no, I'm not rushing. I'm not doing that. I can show up and do my work. Excellent. I can be excellent at what I do, but I need time to take care of me too. So
yeah.
Don't rush me.
Don't rush me.
I did that in traffic yesterday.
Yeah,
I kind of snapped off yesterday.
No, not you.
It's been a long time since I had road rage, but people were being extra, and I was irritated. And it's been a long week because life has been lifing, right? We know this. And these two European men said something.
Oh wow!
Out the car, and I kind of, it was a twitch. The twitch came. The twitch happened.
I already know.
My son was in a car, and I said, "I'm sorry. I hope I didn't embarrass you, but they were disrespectful."
And he saw you stand up for yourself.
Right, I don't do that.
That's a good lesson.
He just slid down in his seat. Hope I don't have to fight. You ain't got to fight. Let me fight it out. I want to. Okay, anyway, I digress.
I was also going to say about doing it with yourself. So we talked about having dinner, going to the movies, traveling. I would say to pack if you have a vibrator toy.
Yes. Oh, sorry.
I would say pack that.
Because I have left mine.
And I would say light your candles. Treat yourself like you would treat someone else who's with you. Love yourself.
Absolutely.
Light your candles, turn your music on, burn your incense, whatever it is that gets you going that you would do if you put your pretty gown on. Tell yourself you love yourself. Because if you can't treat yourself the way you want someone else to treat you, and if you don't do that, you don't know what you like.
You don't know what's right.
And you're never too old. It's never too late. I know a lot of people are like, I got kids, I don't have time for that. I understand, but you got to make that time, because what I don't want is for time to be up, because we don't know when our time is up, and you be like, oh, I wish I had her.
Absolutely.
That's what I remind myself.
Absolutely.
All the time.
Absolutely.
Like, realistically, you can't do it all the time. You can't do everything you want to do all the time, realistically, but you want to do enough.
Yeah. Don't be Superwoman. I mean,
take that cape off.
Take the cape off. Take the mask off.
Yeah.
My sister wrote something about taking your mask off. Right. Love yourself enough to take care of yourself. Real talk. And I was making a joke about the road rage thing, but if you have a temper and you're traveling by yourself, be cautious. Think about how you respond to things. Right.
That's a good point.
I'm in my city, so in my city, I'm going to snap off a different way. Right. If I'm in another country or city, then I make sure I know how to protect myself, right? And I can protect myself. But just be cautious about what you're doing, especially as a single woman when you travel.
And be aware of your surroundings when you get off exits.
Absolutely. Pay attention to your surroundings. Keep your head on swivel, but don't be so stressed that you don't enjoy yourself. There's travel buddies all over the place. One thing, if you work remote, there's a group that you can go to different countries and they involve you in a culture, right? You can go for 2 weeks, a month, or 6 months, and you can work remote there. And you're like going to Italy, you're going to Spain, you're going to, all these amazing places. And if you have that space and capacity to do that, why not? Because we are getting older and nothing is promised. With that being said, I also want to, say that one of our personalities here in Atlanta recently passed away, Wanda Smith.
From V103.
Yeah, from V103, from Atlanta, from the comedy scene. And, Wanda's always been a person of controversy to a certain extent. But at the same time, our sister, just transitioned. She had plans that she didn't get to fulfill.
That's right.
So don't wait for something or someone. That's the whole purpose of doing it for yourself. Doing it with yourself is time is not promised. So you got to enjoy it while you can.
Yeah. And it sounds like such a cliche, but I mean that.
Facts.
Like, I'm trying to live that.
Facts.
I'm trying to live that. Because I used to say that all the time and then still be a hypocrite. But I'm really trying to live that. The last couple of minutes of the show, I wanted to talk to our 66% of the men who watch our show. Why is it?
Talk to me. Hey, booze.
That when I'm out and about whether it be in state, out of state,
Did you kiss the men out there?
What men?
You said 66 you were talking to. I gave him a kiss. Did you blow him a kiss?
You good. You're enough.
Okay.
You're enough.
I am enough. Go ahead, girl.
I don't see you guys. Where are you at? Where are you at? I feel men have to take care of themselves and take time for themselves too. The only time most of the time. Now, the last time I went out of the country, I did see a couple of men together that were traveling, and they were traveling for a wedding because they were standing behind me, and they asked me, like, was I with myself? And I was like, yeah. And they were like, and you gotta be careful about that too, because they could have tried to jump me later.
Right, you had to follow your spirit.
Yeah, but my attitude when I said yeah was like, don't even think about it.
Don't even step this way.
You will get cut. But they were there for a wedding. So, this is what I see. Most of the time when we go anywhere, the men are not men of color. Now, I see men of non-melanated men out and about.
Always.
They having a guy trip. They doing this. They doing that. I know that there are black men who are doing this. I know there are. And I remember we used to travel back in the day, and we used to say, where are the rest of the black families? Because we used to go to places and there was no other black people. But now you see many more black people. That makes me very happy. Many more people of color, period. Brown, black, period. Makes me very happy. But now I need to see more men out there. Not for me. Not for me. Yeah, just in general. And the only time you see them is when they're with someone else. Just like parties in Atlanta.
Absolutely.
You go to a club in Atlanta, the only men that you normally see, other than a few that trickle, are the ones with women. And it's almost like because the woman made them come.
Right. So
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And we automatically think we're talking to women, like we talk about the bubble baths and everything, and people automatically assume we're talking to women. But we should talk to men as well.
Absolutely.
Don't shorten your business trips. Have more guy trips, right? Go on golf trips, go to football games or whatever your thing is, go travel and do that. But a lot of men are homebodies. And they get to a certain point because they don't think about doing it unless a female or their partner tells them to do it, right? Or if it's a reason.
Right, funeral, wedding.
Right.
Pretty much.
Right, pretty much. That's about it. And it'll be the funeral before the wedding. Seriously. But men, like you said, you need to get out too. It's not just about women that we're talking to. Get out and enjoy yourselves. Don't sit at home all the time. I talk to a lot of men, so I can't meet anybody. I'm like, so what are you doing?
Right.
Are you outside? You don't have to go and broadcast it. You don't have to go to a club every night, but go do the things you enjoy doing so you can meet people that enjoy the same things you enjoy. And you can meet somebody if that's your desire, right? There are single men that are involved in it. If you have kids, get involved in your kids' lives. That alone will keep you busy and get you out and moving about and traveling around. But definitely, men, get out the house sometimes. Get out the house.
Get on a plane.
Yeah.
Get in the car.
Get your passport.
There's so many men that don't have a passport. It's amazing.
It's
amazing.
I was trying to go on a trip and some friends I want to go. And I was like, you got a passport, right? And they were like, no. I was like, what do you mean you don't have a passport? Okay, so go expedite it. I don't know what to tell you. But I don't know if it was fear of getting a passport or what it was, or if they had something they didn't want to share. But you got to get a passport. If you're able to get a passport, you don't have convictions or whatever, get a passport. And then there still are countries you can go to without a passport, or you can go on cruises or whatever, but get a passport if you are able to. It's $110 worth it. Real talk.
I do travel. It's one of my gigs. And I send out a questionnaire to people who want to go on a certain trip. Of course, the men are with a woman. And so when I ask, what's one of the questions? Do you have a passport? And if you don't, do you need my help to attain the passport? Usually it's no. And the girl who invited the guy didn't even know that they didn't have a passport.
Didn't think to ask.
And I don't tell it because that's not my business to tell.
Absolutely.
But I'm just surprised. And you could tell that the girl didn't know because they'll be the way they're talking. But I'm like, get a passport.
And a lot of times it's just because they never thought about it. They're like,
or they never went anywhere.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but passport is amazing. Even just if you have it for ID initially, when you're, that ring is cute. Is that new?
Thank you.
Okay. Did they just have just one? Okay. I digress because I know we were coming up to a close. Men, get out, go to a game, go watch one of your favorite football teams or sports teams. That's a good way to get out, and you have something to do. Usually men want something to focus on and go to. when they get out by themselves, not just relaxing. And
We'll talk
sleeping
about
in.
that on another show. Why it's so hard for people just I could be on the beach for 8 hours.
Right. True.
Eat lunch, dinner, take 3 naps.
We want to have a part 2.
Read a book.
Part 2.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. Yeah. The things you can do with yourself. We kind of talked about it today.
Yeah.
I hope this was helpful. I hope it encourages you, inspires you. You might run into Mr. Angela on one of those flights.
May. I just said I'm gonna be in Nashville. Let me see where I'm going. Nashville, Caribbean.
Do something
Alabama.
different.
Yeah.
Alabama. We'll talk about
work.
that later.
It's work.
Oh, because
It's
is it a game? Oh, okay. All right. So I just want to say
There's some nice people in Alabama though.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure.
Some big tall guys in Alabama too. Okay, that's another conversation.
Is it last things you want to say? Because you're on a roll.
I'm hungry. It's time to go eat.
We're going over our time, so
yes,
what you
I
want to
love
say?
you. Peace and blessings to you. Get out and do something for yourself today.
And what do we need you to do? Follow, like, and just share with one person. We're trying to grow, y'all. We're trying to break this 100.
By this time, I hope we have broken
This
that
is
100.
so funny to me.
I'm going to reach out to my team. If you guys are not following, then I need you to follow.
Somebody says because we don't do enough shows. So we'll do more. We're supposed to do something like every day. We're supposed to do a video every day.
No, we're not doing that.
Nobody has time for that.
We're not doing that.
We can do more, though.
We're not doing that.
We can do a little bit
We
more.
can do a little bit more.
One a week.
I can give you a little bit more.
Okay, because I know she's busy. Anyway.
I got them kids.
Don't let aging dictate how you get older. You're never too old. It's never too late. If your body allows you to do it and your mind cooperates, go ahead and do it. We love you.